Good morning, Facebook Live. This is Jabari Long, the real estate expert, with episode 1 of the Long Report. This week we're going to talk about the private inspection. Now, what is a private inspection? A private inspection is something that we as realtors suggest that all home buyers get. It's an inspection performed by a third-party company or individual that inspects the mechanicals, the roofing, the gutters, electrical systems, plumbing systems of a property. It's performed by a third-party company because we as the selling agent or the buyer's agent or the listing agent have a financial interest in the deal closing and that buyer buying the property. It's suggested that we offer resources to homeowners third party so that that inspector does not have any financial interest in whether or not the buyer buys that home. So the private inspection is really a tool to gain information. It's not to gain information on the square footage of the home, because that's something that we advise our clients on, or the age of the home, and or the things, the physical defects that we can see visually just by looking at the home. But it's to uncover things like whether the property has had termites or has radon gas, or any foundational issues that realtors don't have the expertise or the experience to advise the clients on, and or the clients are just so excited that they miss certain things. So inspections are done after the client has a signed purchase agreement and the buyer and the seller have both agreed upon price and terms. The inspection is part of what we call the contingency period. So after the contract is signed, we enter into a contingency period, which is typically 7 days with residential properties. These are private inspections, range in cost from anywhere from $200 to $1,500, depending on the square footage of the home, and they take 2 to 4 hours depending on how in-depth and how thorough the inspection is. Once the inspection is complete, typically the inspection report is anywhere from 25 to, I've seen them as large as 80, 90 pages. And then that's delivered to the buyer who actually paid for it. So, as you might assume, most buyers are overwhelmed with the abundance of information that's being given to them by the inspector. And I haven't seen many inspectors that actually take the time to explain to the buyer what all this stuff means. Buyers are often intimidated by the results of their private inspection because this is one of their biggest investments. They don't want to buy a property that has a whole bunch of defects that's going to be a money pit to them once they close. So the private inspection is a very critical part of the process. It can actually make or break deals. And one of the reasons why I was encouraged to do this video is because I've seen it break more deals than it has helped. I feel that the inspectors have no skin in the game, no interest, so they take the client's money, email them the 80-page report, and don't give them any information about what is seen in the report. Now, as you may imagine, some of these properties are 50 years old. I just had a deal, the property was over 100 years old. So, you know, my 5-year-old can tell you that it's probably going to be some things wrong with the house. And homeowners have to have the right expectations. If you're buying a 100-year-old home, some of the things in it structurally, some of the systems, a lot of them have been in there for a great deal of time. So we can't expect that we won't have any issues with properties that are purchased that are that old. You escape some of the things immediately when you're buying new construction because oftentimes the builder gives you a warranty, but when you're buying older homes, problems do exist. So what I want to encourage the inspectors and encourage the buyers to demand of the inspectors that they hire is they get some sort of conversation, at least a conference call or face-to-face, once that inspection report is delivered, so that they understand that this is just information. And a lot of it has to do with the inspector's opinion of how long things will last, how much useful life is in the roof, how much life is in that furnace, how soon the electrical may need to be upgraded. These are assessments in the inspector's personal opinion and does not necessarily indicate how things will pan out. So buyers demand that the inspectors actually sit down with you and go through those 68, 80 pages, page by page, so you get a full understanding and have the ability to ask all the questions that you want to ask and you feel like you need to get answers to before you go back and make a determination whether you want to go through with that deal or whether you want to call it null and void and exit the transaction because you don't like the results of the inspection report. So that's kind of part one of it. Part two is realtors. Don't allow your clients to use you to submit offers at full price or above asking so that they can get these deals. When going in, they have the intentions that they want to pay 20, 30, 40% less than what the property is listed for. It is common knowledge that home buyers, and oftentimes I see a lot with investors, they'll get a property under contract above asking, which causes the seller to take the property off the market and not offer it to other prospective buyers. Then that investor or that buyer will take 7 days to do an inspection or have a contractor come into the property and provide a rehab quote. And then on the 6th day, they'll have their agent contact the listing agent and say, well, my client does not like the results of the inspection. They want a $30,000 reduction in asking price or purchase price because of the results of the inspection. Then me as the listing agent, I'll say, well, why? Send me over the inspection. And then they'll send me over this 80-page report along with a contractor's estimate with escalated repair costs and to the tune of 60, 70, 80,000 to justify the price that they really wanted to purchase the property at initially before they got it under contract. So this comment is more so to the realtors and not to the buyers or the investors who are utilizing the realtors to employ this tactic. We are in a profession and we're held to ethical standards. And not only that, people start to recognize and familiarize themselves with people who don't close deals. So don't allow your clients' realtors to do the bait and switch, offer above asking, and then try to beat the price down with an inspection or a contractor's bid when they know what they want to pay for the property day one. Don't allow the seller to take the property off of the market, miss out on other potential buyers who are ready to play ball and buy the property at a price that was reasonable to them and the seller because you want to play this game and utilize a private inspection to beat down the price. Go in with your highest and best offer, be competitive, and if the deal doesn't work out, then it just doesn't work out. You know, there's thousands, tens of thousands of properties available for people to purchase for owner occupancy or investment purposes. But don't develop a reputation in your industry for utilizing the private inspection to either beat down the price or to walk away from deals. That is my take on the private inspection. Once again, this is Jabari Long, the real estate expert. See you next week.